Here's a live look at Windsor, England, where it's about 7 a.m. and in just hours, the royal wedding takes over the city. The CBS 2 News team is here, and we're all feeling the love. We're following all the local celebrations, but we begin with our Crystal Cruz. She's live in Windsor. Crystal.
Hi, Pat. I'm hearing some bells in the background, so I'm wondering if they're getting ready for this wedding, if they're practicing maybe. But the wedding is here. Everyone is excited for the moment that will happen in just a few hours when the couple says their I do's.
Bells chimed as Meghan Markle and her mother arrived at their hotel on the eve of the royal wedding.
How are you feeling, Miss Markle?
Wonderful, thank you.
Prince Harry and his best man, Prince William, shook hands with enthusiastic well-wishers and charmed the crowd lining the streets outside Windsor Castle. The royal sighting came hours after Kensington Palace announced Harry's father, Prince Charles, will walk the bride down the aisle in place of her father, who is too ill to attend. Thomas Markle tells TMZ he gave Meghan his blessing on choosing Prince Charles to do the honor of giving her away. In 2011, Kate Middleton's sister and father accompanied the princess into Westminster Abbey and down the aisle. But the Daily Mail UK says Meghan will make her entrance solo, with just her flower girls by her side. Prince Charles will join her halfway up the aisle of St. George's Chapel.
She's saying, I'm going to walk down the aisle just at the beginning alone. I make my entrance alone. That is a great statement, really. It says I'm not being given to anyone. I am actually giving myself.
And Michael Curry, the American Episcopalian bishop, will give the sermon in his own unique way.
It's about love breaking into this world and transforming it.
It's still unknown if Miss Markle will wear a traditional tiara or who the designer of her dress is, but it's rumored she'll break tradition and give a speech at their reception. After their I do's, the newlyweds plan to stay back a few days to celebrate Prince Charles' 70th birthday at Buckingham Palace before leaving for their honeymoon.
And any royal super fans out there looking for more information on what will happen during the wedding, go online. Kensington Palace released this 22-page document, and it will give you all the highlights about what the wedding will look like later today. I'm Crystal Cruz, live in Windsor for the big day. Back to you guys.
Yeah, we can't wait to see you again, though, Crystal. So stay tuned. Our team coverage continues with CBS 2's Chris Holmstrom now. He's live in Hollywood with the late night celebrations. Chris.
Yeah, the celebration is going on here at the Cat and Fiddle. A lot of people out here enjoying the big night, the big event. Take a look behind me. You see these beautiful ladies right here with beautiful hats ready to take on the royal wedding.
These are Scotch eggs, homemade sausage, hard-boiled egg.
Homemade sausage, hard-boiled eggs wrapped in breadcrumbs and deep-fried. One of many dishes the cooks here at the Cat and Fiddle are making for the royal slumber party.
Pretty big night, not just in London, but here too.
And what's a celebration without cocktails? In this case, mocktails.
We have Markle Sparkle, secret recipe unless Jen wants to release it, and we have a Bloody Harry.
Fitting names for the royal couple.
You can expect a lot of revelry, you know, will there be no alcohol. We'll just be enjoying each other and enjoying the whole ceremony.
We've got the coffee and tea all set up, and hopefully we'll have lots of food.
Over in Los Feliz, another slumber party. This one at the alma mater of Meghan Markle.
This is the picture of her entire class, 1999, and there she is.
A true inspiration for the students of Immaculate Heart School.
It's very exciting for the girls. They have they're very thrilled to be involved in a situation that is so global.
And in a matter of hours, students and faculty will watch history being made right here on the big screen. Together, they will celebrate a hometown girl becoming a princess. Okay, so here's another look at the Bloody Harry and Markle Sparkle. Let's do a little taste test of this right here. Let's take a look. Not bad. And Pat, I want you to know there's no alcohol. This is a mocktail, but a lot of celebrations. Take a look as we send it back to you in the studio. A lot of excitement out here, Pat.
Oh, Chris, we can feel it. Yes, toast for us as well. All right, thank you, Chris. And stay with CBS 2 throughout this newscast for royal wedding coverage. Just minutes away, the new details about the newlyweds procession after the ceremony. Now, if you're a married man in the South Bay, look out, because extortionists might be trying to target you. It's part of a new scheme that uses guilt as bait. CBS 2's Rachel Kim is live in El Segundo to show us what to look out for. Rachel.
Well, Pat, El Segundo police here say the scam has been going on nationwide, but now they're getting reports of it here. Whoever's behind it is banking on a man with a guilty conscience paying up.
I don't want anyone to fall victim to this scam and send any money.
Lieutenant Daniel Kim is warning residents to look out for this letter in the mail. He says someone is targeting El Segundo husbands.
It's a extortion letter that threatens the husband, if there is a husband there, that I know what secrets you've been hiding from your wife. If you do not pay me $8,800 in Bitcoin currency, I'm going to reveal your secret to your wife and your neighbors.
The scammer goes on to say in the letter, quote, even if you decide to come clean with your wife, it won't protect her from the humiliation she'll feel when her friends and family find out your sordid details from me, end quote. Investigators say the letters are addressed to random men.
What they're hoping to key on is someone that has a guilty conscience of some type of activity, so then they think that they've been discovered and they want to pay this money to make it go away.
The victim is told the money must be received within 9 days, and the scammer even includes a how-to guide on paying with Bitcoin.
Well, Bitcoin is a cryptocurrency, and they are demanding payment via that method because it would be harder to trace.
Lieutenant Kim says if the men fall victim to the scam, they'll be out $8,800 and may end up with bigger problems.
Imagine the letter goes to a couple and the wife gets it and she doesn't believe the husband. And then now you have potentially some type of a fight when nothing is there.
Now, police believe the same person is behind these letters. They say if you get one in the mail, please contact them. Pat, back to you in the studio.
All right, thanks for that, Rachel. Incredible new video out of Hawaii as dangerous lava lights up the Big Island tonight. This is the Kilauea volcano's newest fissure, and it is very active, as you can see. You can see the lava bubbling into the air. Officials warn more evacuations could be on the way. A 17-year-old student is being held without bond tonight, charged with today's deadly shooting at a high school in Santa Fe, Texas. 10 people were killed and 10 others were injured. The governor says the teen stopped short of killing himself. Police say Dimitrios Pagorchis pulled the fire alarm just as first period started and opened fire with his father's shotgun and a pistol.
Innocent kids getting killed. Nobody should have to go through that. No family should have to suffer that.
I'm one of the lucky ones, and I'm glad that God spared me, but I just feel bad that they didn't make it.
Officers also found explosive devices in the high school and surrounding areas near the high school. CBS 2 Orange County reporter Stacy Butler is live in Costa Mesa with the tweet about the shooting that's causing outrage. Stacy.
Yeah, Pat, apparently the woman who posted some tweets is an employee here. She's a record technician at the Orange County Department of Education. And tonight they sent a very clear message about how far is too far when it comes to what you post on social media. After another school shooting, many are taking their sadness and frustration to Twitter. In a biting rant, one Orange County Department of Education employee named Mary tweeted, "I hope it happens to your kids." Then she went on, addressing the NRA spokesperson Dana Lash, hoping your kids experience this, you know, for change. She wrote, "This is what you promote at Real Donald Trump. I hope it happens to Barron at FLOTUS. I know you don't read, so go get someone to help you with this." Then the spokesperson for the NRA, Dana Lash, fired back. "I'm immediately forwarding this to authorities. Don't pretend to be against violence while threatening other people's children." Others were shocked at what they read. One guy tweeted the OC Department of Education saying, "Are you aware that your student record technician is wishing school shootings on children of Dana Lash? Should she really be working in education if she's promoting school shootings?" We tried speaking with the record tech, but no one answered the door of the Huntington Beach apartment associated with her name. The OC Department of Education wouldn't confirm the name, but they did say the employee has been placed on leave while they investigate comments that appeared on social media. In a statement issued tonight, they said, "We're devastated to learn details of the tragic shooting that took 10 innocent lives in Texas. As we struggle to come to terms with this violent act, we condemn any comments that would endorse violence or otherwise exploit this national tragedy for rhetorical purposes." A spokesperson for the Department of Education says that they have not yet been contacted by local or federal law enforcement. So for now, at least, it remains just an internal investigation. Pat?
All right. Thank you, Stacey. Netflix canceled the local premiere tonight following the Texas school shooting. The event was to celebrate the second season of 13 Reasons Why, which includes a storyline about a school shooting plot. The first season drew controversy because it dealt vividly with teen suicide. USC's president is personally apologizing to students over a scandal involving a school gynecologist, and that scandal may become criminal. CBS 2's Tom Wade is live on campus to explain. Tom.
And Pat, the LA Times first broke this story, and when they did, they only said that several victims had come forward, but now there are several hundred, according to the newspaper. USC Student Medical Center is in the middle of a brewing scandal. In a story the LA Times first broke, USC gynecologist Dr. George Tyndall was accused of misconduct by several patients. Since that news broke, the number of patients has reportedly grown to around 200 complaints. In the wake of the disturbing charges, USC's president sent out this email to the campus community. The former physician's behavior distresses us deeply. He should have been removed and referred to the authorities years ago. I am struggling with the question as you are. How could this behavior have gone on for so long?
The initial accusations that they accepted the fact that they didn't look through them that well, but they're taking steps now.
In the wake of the Times report, USC conducted their own investigation and just this week published this letter saying they found no criminal wrongdoing by Dr. Tyndall, but they did find his behavior and actions violated school principles. The university urged other potential victims to come forward, and they did by the dozens. The Times reports the most serious accusations against Tyndall involve claims of inappropriate remarks about patients' bodies and his use of fingers at the start of pelvic exams. He also is accused of racist remarks. And just 2 years ago, the school here at the medical school here at USC had to fire its dean because of a scandal involving prostitutes and hard drugs. As far as these recent allegations, the LAPD says they are aware of them, but nothing official has come to them. Reporting live at USC, I'm Tom Waite. Pat, back to you.
All right. Thank you, Tom. Now, breaking news in Beverly Hills, where there's been an awful crash. Stu Mandela is overhead in Sky 2. Stu.
Extremely bad crash out here. This is on Wilshire, right near the cross of Santa Monica Boulevard. You can see Beverly Hills Fire down there. One car into a tree. You can see that tree worked its way well into the passenger compartment. Now Beverly Hills Fire working feverishly down there to cut that car apart and get the single person out of that car. At this point, we understand that person extremely critical. They're working very quickly trying to cut that car apart to get that person out and to a hospital. While this is going on, a portion of Wilshire Boulevard near Santa Monica will be shut down. Live in Sky 2, I'm Stu Mandel. Pat, back to you.
All right, thank you, Stu. A woman has been arrested for the Rolling Hills Estate Mall murder of Susan Leeds. Detectives say security video shows a figure who was Leeds getting into her car, then another figure believed to be the suspect, Cherie Townsend, at the time of the stabbing. Detectives are still looking for witnesses. Investigators believe the motive was robbery and called it a crime of opportunity. A cat shot with an arrow is making an amazing recovery thanks to Inland Empire vets. CBS 2's Tina Patel is live in San Jacinto with details on this attack. Tina.
Well, Pat, if a cat has 9 lives, then this little guy here might be down to 8. He is recovering, but investigators are now trying to figure out who's responsible. Veterinarians in San Jacinto say they've never had a stray cat brought into the shelter in this condition, with an arrow stuck through its body.
So when he came in, he was obviously very stressed and agitated and in pain.
But vets were able to safely remove the arrow, and the 2-year-old short hair already seems to be on the mend.
He's a lucky cat. If that arrow had been a few inches to the left, we would have a very different scenario. So he does have a broken leg, but he was lucky in that the arrow didn't penetrate his chest cavity, it didn't puncture a lung or injure his heart.
Because the arrow did fracture his front leg, it will have to be amputated. But vets say that should actually help him recover quicker.
Cats and dogs do amazingly well on 3 legs. So really we're removing the source of his pain. So by getting rid of that leg, he's going to be able to walk much better with his 3 healthy legs.
Animal control officers found the cat in a Paris neighborhood Friday morning. Investigators are asking anyone with information on who might have done this to come forward.
I mean, it's a horrendous act to think that somebody would intentionally, literally aim to hurt an innocent animal.
And any tips that could help investigators should go to the Paris Animal Control. As for the cat, they want to wait a few more weeks, let him heal completely before they talk about putting him up for adoption. We'll send it back to you.
All right. Thank you, Tina. Well, LA's own Meghan Markle is heading to the chapel in just a couple of hours to say I do to a real-life prince. And CBS 2's Crystal Cruz joins us with a prime seat live in Windsor where that fairy tale is about to happen. And Crystal, we hear there will be some very American moments in the ceremony.
Hi, Pat. Well, the classic song Stand By Me, that will be sung by a choir. And I'm told, actually, I read the Kensington Palace released this 22-page document. I read everyone's to remain seated during this song. I bet it's going to be a very emotional time, especially when that first verse is sung. And you know that first verse, it goes like this: when the night has come. I know just listening to that song makes me emotional, so I can imagine inside the chapel lots of tears during that song. Now, here is some video of a time-lapse video that the castle released, and it shows the carriage procession the newlyweds will take after the wedding. It'll be the first time the public will get to see the couple in person as husband and wife. Now, this will be a historic moment, and I know the fans have been waiting, some of them for days, to see the couple. Everyone wants to see that dress probably in person too. I know I do. Hopefully, I will get a chance to see those two cruise around the Windsor Castle. Pat?
Crystal, will set it straight, though. Will Meghan Markle really become a princess when she says I do?
Well, the answer to that question is no. You actually have to be born into the royal family to get that title. But there's possibly a chance that during the wedding, her title could be announced. And there's a lot of speculation that she will go by the Duchess of Sussex. So we're still waiting to find out if that's actually the case. However, their children will get the title prince or princess because they will have been born into the royal family. Pat?
All right. Well, Crystal, we're still going to claim her as our princess, right? Princess from LA. All right. Thank you, yes. Crystal. Have fun. And we will keep bringing you royal wedding updates throughout this newscast. And CBS 2 is back at 1 a.m. with live coverage of the festivities that will interrupt the Late Late Show with James Corden. But he's fine with it. He's reportedly an invited guest to the wedding. And of course, the ceremony itself begins at 4 a.m. our time. I must say, I'm getting quite excited myself.
Yeah,
Garth.
it's a big deal. People have just been a while since we've seen something like this. It's something good.
Somebody's having a good time with it. Absolutely.
And she's local. And you can call me Lord Garth from now on. Okay, you can practice. All right, everybody. Hey, listen, lots of overcast tonight, Pat, so it's going to sock ourselves in later on this evening. We are out towards Long Beach, pretty out there right now. We had a little more overcast this morning, and it kind of hung tight for us. And we're going to get more tomorrow in through the next several days. 60 degrees right now. Winds are calm, humidity right at 78%. So we're almost where we were last night, mid to upper 50s, 43 up into Big Bear, and 64 right now up into Victorville. Made it up to 70 today. About 5 degrees cooler than what we should be, 4 degrees cooler than we were yesterday at this time. We're still dealing with some onshore winds. Nothing heavy right now. We're getting these little northwest winds, so I'm not seeing a lot of the marine layer forming up yet. I think it's going to happen late this evening. You can see as we take you through the evening hours to the morning hours. Looks like it's going to push itself all the way into parts of the IE, up into Santa Clarita, or just nudge in by Newhall, Santa Clarita area, and then just sock ourselves in all up along the coast through the morning hours. By about noon, we should start to clear everything out. A little earlier than that for some spots, but I think by the beach areas we'll really start to clear it out. We'll see some drizzle tomorrow. Then we'll get it back Saturday night, Sunday morning. Look at how extensive that is. But I think we see a better clearing pattern that'll allow us just to come up a degree or two. So our May gray cooling continues on. Low pressure to the east, one just to the west of us. That drizzle could be around again tomorrow. We'll get that gradual clearing super early, but then we start to get everything out of here by midday. Then we get another low pressure area starting to move through the area as we make our way in through next week, which will put us firmly into May gray. There you go. There's a look at some of the temps. All reasonable, all nice, actually, for the Inland Empire. High desert's a little breezy up there, Pat. Mountains coming in at 66, 65 on Sunday, and 60 on Monday. Pat, back to you.
All right, Lord Garth, thank you. Well, as my dear friend used to say, from the desert to the sea, the observation wheel that's famous from the Coachella Music Festival is now in Long Beach. It's right by the Queen Mary, and it's ready for visitors for about the next month before it goes to the next destination. And here's another live look at Windsor. Ooh, that's security. Just ahead, we'll show you the timeline of the festivities that begin at 1 a.m. leading up to the ceremony. Plus, Mike Trout looks to end a career worst slump as the Angels take on the Rays. Jim Hill has the highlights. And here's a look at the guests tonight on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert.